Hello, everyone. Welcome to cricketworld.com, your daily guide to all that's happening in the India tour of England. The second test started earlier today at Edgbaston in Birmingham. And the first day produced a lot of action. And as always, I've got my colleague and friend Nikhil Narayan with me to discuss what happened on the opening day of the second test match. Nikhil, 310 for 5 India after being asked to bat. Glass half full or glass half empty?
Glass half full, Chandresh. I think India would be happy with 310 for 5 after 85 overs, after being inserted again by England on day one. I think they were a spot of bother when they lost, half their side, the score of 211. At that stage, England were on top, but the last wicket partnership between Jadeja, and Shubman Gill, the skipper, has tilted the day one's play in India's favor. I think certainly advantage to India at the end of the first day's play, Chandresh.
So a lot of talk. Let's start at the start of the day. A lot of talk about the selection calls that India made. They made the bizarre call of letting out Bumrah, giving him a break. They already telegraphed their intentions of ensuring that Bumrah plays just three of the five test matches in the series. But it came as not as a surprise, but somewhat some sort of a surprise. Plus the decision to not include someone like Kuldeep Yadav, a wicket-taking wrist spinner, in the absence of Jasprit Bumrah. So your two main wicket-taking bowlers not part of the 11. So the skipper Shubman Gill would have been under a lot of pressure to come good with the bat. The battle is only half done because the match is, as we saw in the first Test match, it's a long, long way to go in this Test match.
Absolutely, Chandresh. The top order has done its job for India, but just like the first test, even if India scores 400 plus from here and still a long way to go for that, the real test will be in the bowling. There's no Jasprit Bumrah. Still a bizarre decision for me. If he had to be rested, should have been for the Lord's test. No Kuldeep Yadav, which is a shocker. And also, I was expecting Arshdeep Singh to play instead of Siraj or Prasidh Krishna. So the bowling will be the real test for India, no matter how much they score against this England unit, because they're going to come back hard and they're going to play some attacking cricket on what looks like a flat deck at Edgbaston, Chandresh.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start. You had Chris Wokes getting KL Rahul out early, and then it seemed like for a while Karun Nair was under pressure because Chris Wokes bowled that fantastic spell where he kept troubling Karun Nair. And we must admit, Karun Nair was very lucky to survive that probing spell. A couple of calls could have gone either way, especially the DRS calls.
Absolutely, Chandresh. Chris Wokes was the pick of the bowlers today. Top notch first spell. Number of umpires called, and that rule has to be revisited by the MCC. Karun Nair, although to his credit, played a few delightful drives when the England bowlers overpitched through the offside. Overall, not a bad outing for Karun Nair. 31 of 50 deliveries. After the disappointment of the in the first test, Chandresh.
Yeah, but Karun Nair did well. He fell at the stroke of lunch, but that man, Jaiswal, once again coming good. Unfortunate not to have scored 100, his second consecutive 100. But he looked very good while he was at the crease. He was very aggressive.
Absolutely, Chandesh. That's how Jaiswal bats. He's taken a leaf from Rohit Sharma. He bats at a certain strike rate. His overall strike rate in Test cricket is around 65, which is very high for an opening batsman. He was still in control of 83% of the deliveries he faced, which is 4 out of 5 balls. Very good for English conditions for an opener. What Jaiswal does is by scoring quickly, not only demoralizes the opposition bowlers, but also creates enough time for the Indian bowlers to dismiss the opposition twice. Today, we saw the most productive shot for him was the cut shot. He was, very, very strong, played brilliantly in the V between third man, and deep cover. So a top knock by Jaiswal. Disappointing that he couldn't get a back-to-back hundred. But overall, he gave India the start from which the likes of Shubman Gill and Jadeja built later on.
Stokes picked up the wicket of Jaiswal. Stokes and Jaiswal had a bit of a powwow in the middle, which was good to see as well because you need some needle as well in such a contest. But then came skipper Shubman Gill, who first put on a very useful stand with Jaiswal. He was looking good while he was there in the center. He did suffer some cramps along the way, but he was looking quite good. But unfortunately, Pant fell rather cheaply to Shoaib Bashir. And then the guy they brought in to lengthen the batting order and had a bit of teeth to the bowling, Nitish Kumar Reddy, fell shouldering arms. At that stage, 211 for 5, it did look like it was going to be the same old story.
Yeah, absolutely. India lost, Jaiswal at the score of 161. 47 runs later, they got Rishabh Pant in the 61st over. And then immediately in the next over, 62nd, they lost the batting all-rounder Nitish Kumar Reddy, who was, cleaned up by Chris Wokes, error of judgment for just one. At that stage, Sandesh, at 211 for 5, it was definitely advantage England. And, a lot of pundits sort of thought that India would be bowled out within 250. So for that stage, it was crucial for Shubman Gill, the skipper, to raise his hand, absorb the pressure, uh, and he did so brilliantly. If you notice, he quickly changed gears. As soon as Reddy got out, Shubman Gill changed gears. He started, interestingly attacking the bowling, and in Ravindra Jadeja, he found a very able partner. And if you see their partnership, 99 runs of just 142 deliveries. Not only did they sort of bat out time, but they also scored runs at a fair clip, and that put pressure back on England. Just a few stats on Shubman Gill. Uh, his first 59 Chandresh came of 143 balls, but his next 55 came of just 74. So he really cashed in the last session, which was very very interesting tactics by the Indian skipper Chandresh.
Absolutely. And towards the end of the day, 99 runs added between skipper Shubman Gill and Ravindra Jadeja. But as we know, Nikhil, with this English uh, lineup, especially the batters, nothing is safe. If India scored 310 for 5 at the end of their first day's play in 85 overs, England can probably end up scoring 500 runs in the same number of overs because that's the way they play, especially their top order. So India will be wary because they're bowling, which is the topic that I want to go back to. That's going to be the talking point all through because everybody is talking about that decision, especially on social media.
Absolutely. India will need to maximize their first innings score. They need to score at least 400 from here uh, to give some sort of cushion to the bowling lineup, which looks very weak to me without Bumrah, without picking Kuldeep Yadav, no Arshdeep Singh, so no variety. India needs at least 400 from here. So the job is just half done. Uh, because it's going to be tough unless the conditions change dramatically tomorrow. It's going to be tough on this wicket where the ball is coming nicely onto the bat, flat deck, bright blue skies. England is going to come out all guns blazing, and we know what that batting lineup is capable of. So India really needs to score tomorrow, maximize the first innings, and then the bowlers need, to produce something special in the absence of Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, let's see what happens. All of you sitting at home can also be part of the discussions with both Nikhil and myself. We'll be back tomorrow analyzing the second day's play and look ahead to the third day's play. And it's going to be interesting to say the least. Remember, you can like, share, subscribe, and comment on our discussions, and we'll surely take them into consideration. That's it for today. We'll be back again tomorrow. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. It's goodbye and God bless from Nikhil and myself.